Right, ladies and gentlemen, man, I'm very excited about this. This is actually the first episode of Trailblazer TV. I'm Kennardo Greg James. We have a very special guest today. He's an entrepreneur going on 10 years now. He does not have a college degree and is a high school dropout. However, he learned financial literacy through various books, mentors, and self-educating himself. At the age of 32, he's focused on educating the culture on how to build wealth using what he believes to be the fastest growing area of stock market using stock options. Darnell Bey, how you doing, brother? How's it going?
Great, wonderful, wonderful, blessed.
That's good. That's good, man. I'm just going to start off with the first question for you. What convinced you to get into the stock game? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are talking about stocks right now. A lot of people are kind of curious about the stock game. So, what convinced you to get into it?
I wouldn't say convinced. I would say it was more like a grasp to it. You know what I mean? More like an attraction to it. Um, a lot of people that know me today really don't understand that I was actually I started off in the financial service industry back in 2007, and I had got my life insurance license and everything, and I was wet behind the ears, getting out there selling life insurance to people, all types of financial service products, annuities, indexes, different type of financial products to individuals, and not knowing that a few years later that I will actually be, you know, intrigued by the stock market by offering those products to people, and I started off um, learning stocks and indexes through the life insurance industry by just studying it and looking at different products. So I was like, you know what? It seems like a lot of wealthy people keep their money in the stock market, So I kind of looked at it like, okay, well, if I'm an entrepreneur and I'm planning on becoming wealthy one day, why not, take a more deep dive into the stock market and look at it and how and see if it could benefit me as a whole. So that was like the beginning of it all.
Okay, wow. I really didn't realize that, man. Just that seems where a lot of the wealthy people keep their money, huh? Okay, that's something good to know, man. What are some of the opportunities of getting involved in stocks?
Opportunities, I would say, there's a lot of opportunities getting into stocks. It's more like a puzzle. You have to pick, what sector of the market that you want to focus in on, and not try to master every sector of the market. Like, I love stock options. Other people may like trading the stock individually. Some people may look at it like um, 401ks and annuities and fixed indexes. They may have a more interest in that sector of the market than you have some individuals that just love currencies, that love to trade currencies, and they could care less what stocks do. So I would say it's a lot of great opportunities in the stock market. Um, but you just have to look at it. Do you want to go long term, short term, or do you want to look at it like a scalper? A scalper looks at it short term opportunities, how they could build cash flow and raise capital short term investment. And when I say short term, I mean like maybe a couple weeks. Depending on your capital, you can find opportunities to get in there and build up capital that way, or you could look at it long term and find opportunities to grow your fund or your nest egg for generations. So it really differs, but right now it's a lot of great opportunities in the marketplace.
Well, what are a few of them? Just can you name some for the individuals watching? Just a few hot ones to get
Um,
into at the moment.
I will say fiber optics, cybersecurity. Um, right now the big thing is tech. All the tech companies. You got these 3D chips. You have, of course, with COVID going on, you got a lot of like Zoom. Zoom is a big uh, company right now. That's if you had the money or the capital to get in to buy shares in Zoom, that will be a great opportunity to get in on the ground floor or something like this. Because as you can see, man, you we two different places in the world, and we using technology to connect with one another and connect with people all around the world. So why not put yourself in an opportunity position to capture something like this? Because who knows what technology will be 20 years from today? You know, just like with Microsoft and Apple and Amazon and all those type of companies. So you have to, you know, think strategically when it comes to these type of companies, because you don't want to wait 10 years or 20 years from now and be like, man, I missed that opportunity, but you was in the opportunity because you was using the service. So you didn't necessarily miss the opportunity, you just didn't take full advantage of the opportunity. That makes sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. What are some of the myths about stocks, like some of the red flags? A lot of people they try to glamorize the whole stock market. It's so easy to make money right away or whatnot. So, what are some of the red flags that you can alarm the people about?
I would say having a large bank account. I would say that because a lot of people that inbox me and reach out to me on social media always ask me what was the beginning balance or beginning capital that I put into the market when I first started trading. And I tell people you could start with $100. You can start with $50. If you get into currency trading, you could start with a minimum of $10. You know, if you're really want to get in, and you don't even have to be passionate about it yet, because it could be an undiscovered passion. You don't know that until you get your feet wet, until you try. You know what I mean? So that's a big myth, is that you need thousands of dollars to get into the market. Another myth is you have to have a finance degree. Some people say you might have to, go to college to learn finance. It's good to have a finance background so that way you can understand numbers and how to read SEC filings and stuff like that on different companies that you're looking to get involved in. But it's not necessarily a number one thing that you have to have. It's just minimum knowledge of how to read the market, I would say, and you'll have a bright future in it. Because like I said, even though I had a financial service background, I still had to, get a mentor to actually teach me basic strategies or how to navigate the market. So I would say having the proper knowledge is a big myth too.
Absolutely. And from me speaking to a lot of people too, they said, hey, you're going to lose some money along the way. What I'm saying? There's some good and there's some bad with everything in life. So, what do you
Right.
find that you agree with that as well? Or?
I do agree with that. It's trial and error in everything that you do. But they say a winner never quits. So you haven't really failed until you actually quit, until you throw in the towel. And I know it's hard for people to take a loss. It's hard for them to put up capital and take a loss. So that's why I tell people, don't invest money that you're not willing to lose. Invest the money that you don't mind losing. The Starbucks money that you spend on coffee, the McDonald's money, your eating out money. Use that money to invest with. You know what I mean? Not the kids' savings fund until you get to a nice winning streak in the market and you really feel confident in trading. Then I'll say you can use those 401k funds or savings funds to manage yourself versus having a broker or outside third party manage those funds for you when you can manage them yourself.
Do you have like a very good successful story to share? Like someone that you helped mentor, they may have started off in a low place and you helped them get to a certain point and now they just took off all of a sudden. Do you have one of those type of stories? I'm sure you do, but
You know, it's weird because I don't really I don't really teach. I haven't put together a trading course to actually teach my specific strategy to individuals, because I had a kind of I got kind of bruised trying to teach this method first with family members, because I wanted them to have a proper education on the financial markets. But outside of family, friends, I will say I have a few buddies that play around with the market that has some success, but you know still on the fence about putting up, big capital into the market and going and like making a life changing income with the market. So I would say not yet. I don't have that success story just yet because of that. But I'm working on putting together a digital course that way I can, you know, have individuals log into a platform and actually learn step by step how to navigate the market. But I haven't got to that point to actually take a mentee and actually walk them step by step through the market and let them go and make a lot of money in the market. And that's just through dealing with people, you know what I mean, and the learning curve, because some people just don't have the patience to actually sit and demo trade, because that's the one thing that I start individuals off with when I tell them if they never traded the market before, try demo trading for at least 90 days. Give yourself 90 days, and in those 90 days, track every trade that you place. If you could track every trade that you place and you have a win loss ratio and looking at the wins and your losses and you winning a lot of your trades, now you feel confident in having your emotions in check when you actually go live and putting real money into the marketplace. And that's where a lot of people kind of back off at. They kind of start on the plan and then they like, a couple weeks go by, they kind of like, quiz them on certain terminologies of the market, and it's kind of like, life gets in the way. So, you know, I only deal with the people that want, and right now, honestly, my focus is on young adults, high school, college kids, those type of individuals that really want to live a digital nomad lifestyle where they don't have to punch into a clock and they can trade from all around the world. Those individuals seem like they're more hungry about the financial market than the 35 and older crowd. They more into a settle, just pass it off to a third party and just tell me how my portfolio looking in a couple months. So that's the only hiccup right now.
I'm glad you touched on to that. I actually want to touch on to that just a little bit more. I want to tap into that. The younger generation, just with a say a 15-year or 16-year old, like what kind of advice would you give them as far as like just starting out, like in hey, maybe 10 years, from that point, where do you think they could be like if they were to do the right thing in the market?
I would say find a mentor like myself. Study the market by watching CNN, not CNN, I'm sorry, CNBC, Yahoo Finance every day. Put that as an alert on your phone to watch that every single day and pay attention to everything that's trending around you, whether that be clothes, car sales, food, uh, everything. The way money inflations go up, the price of living, real estate. Pay attention to all of those things because all those things affect the market. So as a 15-year-old right now, I would say if they're planning on putting themselves in a position to go to college, try to take a finance course, and so that way you can get a better understanding of how finances work for companies, for corporations, and not just an individual as an employee, but look at it from a business perspective of how companies, report earnings, how they cash flow, how they uh, you know keep money on the books, and how they uh, build, their company. You want to look at those type of things and study those things, and also read books like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, um, stock options, stocks for dummies, books like that to kind of get your mind frame in that financial world, so that way you can start speaking the language when it comes to the financial market. So that way it's not foreign to you when you do start to hit 18, 19, 20. By that time you'll be pretty much like an expert or a pro, and being able to navigate the market. And when you hear certain terminologies, because everything is information when it comes to the stock market. Everything is information. I don't care if it's a newspaper article, a blog. Everything is information, and everything right now is affecting the market, big or small. So I would say stick to kind of like geek out on the information when it comes to stocks.
Are there any apps or websites that you would recommend, like Ameritrade or Robinhood, to start off with that you can just recommend to some people?
Robinhood is not my favorite, and that's because I've heard they had some troubles with um you know giving I guess withdrawing funds from people accounts. There's a lot of people who had put a lot of money into Robinhood app and was having troubles making withdrawals. But I'm not sure if they fixed that problem yet. But if I was to use Robinhood, I wouldn't put over 5,000 in it. I would kind of like, start off with maybe a couple $100, and once you, um, if you're able to take 100 or 200 or $300 and double that account, now you're playing with the house's money. So I will withdraw your hard-earned cash out and play with the house's money and see how that goes. But my favorite company broker that I will use is TD Ameritrade and Schwab. Um, those are I found to be perfect for me, and of course, their brand itself is great. They have a learning platform where they have web classes that you could take to get more familiarized with certain areas of the market if you wanted to study stocks or stock options. Um, Indexes. They have all type of classes that you can for free. That's a great thing about TD Ameritrade is that once you become a client and you don't even have to have any money in the account. You can just sign up for a broker account and it can be a student account and you can take advantage of all the learning tools that they got on their website. So as far as websites, I would say there's websites like Finviz, um, Bar Charts, Big Chart, uh, Trading View, Seeking Alpha. Um, those are also in Yahoo Finance. Those are all my websites that I use on a daily basis to keep up with the market, all the news, blogs, articles. And again, you gotta understand these websites are built by financial analysis experts. So a lot of people look at those websites and it become overwhelmed with the information on there because they don't know learn how to decipher it or read it. But that information on those websites are people pay big money. They make big money and they also pay a lot of money just to put that information on those websites. So take advantage of that free stuff.
That's good. And one last question. In the midst of the pandemic, is now a good time to invest? A lot of people are kind of, on edge about it. They don't know what to do, kind of confused. You have any words of encouragement for those out there, those people?
Yes, indeed. Um, I would say right now is the greatest time in the stock market. And reason being is because stocks are on sale. The world is on sale right now. And everybody outside of America right now is buying up everything in America right now, whether you know it or whether you're paying attention to it, but it's happening right now. And I see once we kind of figure out and get out of this hurdle that we in with COVID, I think once the world really open back up, the market actually just hit 3,400 just a few hours ago. Market opened at 5, and it kind of gapped up to 3,400. So we kind of back where we started at right before COVID hit. Now the way the market works, even though we took a big dive when COVID hit, and it takes maybe a few years to actually get back the gains. It's not a lot for a lot of people to worry about. But if you can position yourself to get into the market, get back into the market, you can really, really get a lot of your capital back that you may have lost in your 401k because of where the market is headed. Now, depending on how the elections work out, we may see another chance of a slight pullback. But I think that the market is headed um, in the future is headed on a nice up climb. So I would tell people right now to if you worry about your 401ks or anything like that being destroyed, you know, talk to your financial advisor and see what type of strategies you can place yourself into to take advantage of the upside of the market. Because right now, it's a great time. It's a great time in the market.
That sounds good, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Darnell Bey, man, it's a great interview. I definitely learned a lot from it. Man, tell the people how they can get in tune with you, man. You know, where they can follow you, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or wherever, YouTube.
Yes. You can find me on Facebook at Darnell Bey, Twitter Darnell Bey, Instagram Darnell Bey, and Snapchat Darnell Bey. And I post a lot of content on Snapchat and Instagram. I kind of had to fall back a little bit from Facebook because I was getting I was getting overwhelmed with so many requests and about about the stock market in general. And again, I tell people, if you really want to, you really have the patience to set aside to actually learn the stock market. I'm willing to share all my secrets with everybody because it's plenty to go around. It's plenty.
It's a very humble brother, man. The first time I reached out to him, ladies and gentlemen, he hit me back just like that, just for this interview. You know, he's very busy. He didn't have to do this. So this is the type of content that you want. So we giving it to you uncut and raw, man. You know, take it and run with it. But Darnell Bay, man, I hope to talk to you again. And you are in real estate and different things like that. So I'm trying to learn about all of that, man. I'm trying to fill the brain.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Sounds good, man. Well, you have a good night, and I'll talk to you, everybody, man. Trailblazer TV, Kennardo Greg James. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.